How's it going, guys? I've been meaning to make this video for a bit now. I really wanted to talk about my experience learning a new fighting game. I've been watching the FGC since Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but in all that time spent watching, I never really considered trying to learn a fighting game myself. I thought I could never be that good, so why even bother? Why even put in all that time just to suck at a game and then lose a ton? It wasn't really until recently that I got inspired to give fighting games another chance and really try to learn one game. I kind of knew it's gonna be tough, it's gonna suck, I'm gonna lose. It's just kind of how it goes when you have to try to learn something completely from scratch. So I made up my mind. I bought a copy of BBTag, started up the game, and the first thing, the game just drops you off right into the main area, the entrance. And from here I'm supposed to be able to go to all the different modes and things that they have, and most things are kind of physically on the map. And the game tells you that the tutorial is in this specific area called tactics mode, but it took me a while before I even figured out where it was or how I could even get to it. It didn't really explain or really show you how exactly you're supposed to get to the tutorial. You're just kind of supposed to figure it out, and it was extremely confusing right off the bat. It wasn't until much later that I noticed this bar at the bottom, and on there it said press Y to open the main menu, and then under the main menu I finally found where tactics mode in the tutorial was. So within like the first hour of the game I was already confused and I didn't even know how to get to the tutorial. And the game wasn't really explaining or showing me how, or just giving me any way of getting there. It didn't really make it easy because there wasn't like a traditional main menu or anything like that. Yeah, from this point forward, I was just trying to learn the basics of the game. The tutorial did a pretty good job of explaining to me how the mechanics of the game work and what I could and couldn't do. What truly surprised me though was just how inconsistent my basic execution was. BBTag is a pretty simplified version of most fighting games. It chooses to make all of the special commands and a lot of the command moves into quarter circle movements. So every character can do all their special moves just based on down, forward, whatever button, and it makes it a lot easier so you don't have to specifically remember every character's moves. You just know, oh, their moves come out as long as you do a quarter circle, boom, their moves are coming out. It's not that hard, right? At least so I thought. But I quickly realized I suck at doing these. Not like I just never played a fighting game, so I guess I just didn't understand. Yeah, it takes time to get used to these inputs. Usually, like, these are some of the most simple and basic things in a fighting game, but I just couldn't consistently do it over and over again. I had to actually teach myself and repetitively try and train to actually just make sure that at any point or at any time I can do these moves. I can just snap it out, no problem. And that was one of the first things that I was like, oh wow, I have a long way to go if the first thing I'm having problems with is just doing quarter circle forward A. It's like, oh boy, what am I gonna do? After a while, I headed into the online, and this is where I found one of my second problems playing this game, and that was using the tag system in this game. The game lets you have two characters that can tag in and out of battle, and one of the big mechanics of this is that your secondary character can be called in to assist your main character as they fight. And I understand that I can do this, but when it comes to implementing this into a match, my brain practically implodes. I was already using so much brain power to try to control one character that for the most part of my early matches, I didn't even bother using or even pressing the assist button because I was most of the time scared and didn't even know what my timing or anything should be for these presses. Like, I was too worried that my second character would get hit, so I just didn't even bother trying to put my second character out there. And a lot of times it was just so much going on that I would completely forget that I can even press a button to have my second character help me out. That level of multitasking is probably going to take me a while before I even simply understand it and can implement it, especially trying to put those into combos. It's gonna take me a while. I know that using these assist mechanics is probably one of the most important things in this game, so instead of trying to worry too much about all the crazy things that you can do with the assist, I just tried to stick to one thing first. So I went with the option of just making sure I remember to use it kind of as a tool for an offensive pressure, to just make sure the opponent keeps blocking. That way at least I can continue to put more pressure on them instead of just getting through the usual hit stun and then having to go back to neutral. And since now we're talking about getting into matches and playing against other players, this is where probably one of my biggest problems came from, and it was my own nerves as I'm playing. When you get into these really heated matches and you're super excited and things are getting so close, your adrenaline's kicking and everything's going crazy, and you just get into these moments of panic where you kind of just freak out and you don't really know what to do, so you do or press something or kind of mash and you just start doing whatever you can to try to get out of it. Those are literally the worst. Anytime I would get a hit or even start a combo, right as I'm getting towards the end of the combo, I would get so nervous that I'm going to miss whatever the big finishing part of that combo is. That would almost I would start furiously mashing the last input to just hope that it comes out. I've experienced some tense moments in other competitive games, but fighting games are on a whole nother level sometimes. In a few seconds, you can be put in so many different situations and have to make so many different decisions, whether like I should block high, low, maybe he's gonna go for a grab, is he gonna keep the offensive, is he just gonna neutral jump, I don't know. And getting put in those situations really racks your brain sometimes, and it's overwhelming. Trying to stay calm through these moments of craziness is probably some of the most difficult things that I've had to learn. And it's not even something that's directly like in the game. It's not a mechanic in the game. It's not about button inputs. It's not having to do something with the controller. It's literally just me as a person and how I feel in that moment, and just trying to make sure I can stay calm so I can make the right decisions when those moments come up. And it can be really difficult to try to keep yourself centered and not freak out when you get put into this long block string and he's hitting you with some crazy moves that you've never seen, and you just have to try to stay calm, see what they're going for, and try to make the right decision, and hopefully you can punish them for whatever they did. But man, it is extremely difficult sometimes. Even with how much I've been learning through this game, sometimes I still feel like maybe I won't be able to get good at this game, but I'll probably be able to pick up quite a few things that hopefully in the next game, in that next itch, when something comes out that I really want to play, maybe then I'll be prepared. Maybe then I can get really good at one of these games. But for now, I'll keep working on this game. I'll keep trying to learn my combos. I'll keep trying to make those hits come out. I have so much to learn, and oh boy, it's gonna be a long road, but it's really fun sometimes. Okay, if you made it through this video, thank you so much for watching. I've been really meaning to try to just put some of my experiences with my first fighting game into words and into a video so I can kind of remember this. Eventually I'm probably gonna actually get better and probably won't even remember how much difficulty I had when I was just starting out, especially years from now, because I know it's like you're really only a beginner once. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.